You can choose your own path. In cybersecurity or in IT overall, there's like so many fields and so many ways. They're feeling these gaps in the career fields, and they're starting to create paths for that. Obstacles in my career path. You must be self-motivated. No one is going to motivate you. You have to keep up with technology changes, keep up with the news. Sony created a movie about Kim Jong-un, and that's the president of North Korea. He's a dictator. He didn't like the way the movie portrayed him, so he hired an army of cyber warfare engineers to hack into the United States Sony to steal the movie or release it so that they wouldn't get paid for it. Understanding that Korea can come into our network, steal the information that we have within our network, and disperse it as they see fit or use it as they see fit. We have to stay abreast of all that kind of stuff. How are we going to prevent them from doing that? Another obstacle is understanding you don't know everything. Not knowing when to say I don't know stops you from learning. Most cybersecurity engineers or people in the security managers, architects, aim to be a chief information security officer at the end of their career. So security administrator is more hands-on. Security analyst is someone who detects what the threats are. Where we work, we have to analyze that and say, how does that affect us as an organization? The auditor, they probe the security effectiveness of the computer, and they also make sure that you're in compliance. The engineer builds and maintains part of the architecture. The security architect makes sure that the network is built and detect and stop any unwanted activity on your network. Security manager is also something I do right now. I have a team of engineers who work for me, who have projects that we have to complete. If the government puts out a new policy like FISMA, then we have to make sure that we have the teams in place and we manage the team. We work with the project manager. Security director manages a bunch of programs. The chief information security officer is responsible for the entire network and all the information on it. Public sector versus private sector. I'm in the public sector. I work for the government. A few years ago, they didn't have compliance for private sector, but the government is now enforcing or trying to enforce private sector security in order to protect everyone. A corporation's computer is just as vulnerable as a government computer. So if they don't protect it in the same fashion, then they use a corporation's computer in order to get into the government computer. And so because we're all connected, we have to make sure that we are all following the same rules, or some rules at least. Are there any questions? Yeah, earning potential in cybersecurity. Everything is based on your negotiation. It's how much do they need you. Typical day, they give us a demonstration on the system. We interview, test, and examine each control. So there are 845 controls. We collect the evidence, and we give a final report to the customer. If they ask us, how do I become FITS 140-2 compliant, then we tell them what technical settings, what type of software they need to purchase. So we just make recommendations for them. Professionalism tips. Make sure you know how to say, I don't know. Remember that you're there to protect your client. So never compromise your integrity. Knowing that this is a constant learning environment, listen more than you speak. When you listen to people, you learn how to respond to them. If you're interested in cybersecurity, go to cyberdegrees.org. I wish I would have had that before I started doing my education.